Hello again, everybody. Zack Attack is here with my WWE SummerSlam review for August the 20th, 2017, from the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York, for the third straight time that the SummerSlam has been at Brooklyn. Before I go on, if you haven't noticed by the lack of videos lately, I've not made a video in a couple weeks. I've been on vacation. Just got back today. I was going to be gone longer, but I wanted to be home for SummerSlam. Went to Minnesota, went to Wisconsin, Iowa, and Illinois. Probably explain a little bit about my vacation during my attack line next couple days. I will say this. A little evident about one of the reasons why I went to Minnesota. Paisley Park, Princess House. And I got a cool wrestling shirt, which I'll be wearing tomorrow on my wall review. I know it's not WWE related, but it is. Too sweet. That's clear about what it is. Anyway, after a great NXT TakeOver, Brooklyn, probably not just better than last year's NXT TakeOver, but the best NXT TakeOver in recent memory. I watched it on the way home from vacation in the car today. Great matches, great main event, every title change hands but Asuka retaining, and an awesome match against Ember Moon. We have Sanity winning, but the talk of NXT TakeOver was definitely the full-time arrival of Red Dragon. We need a new tag team in NXT so badly. Red Dragon, Bobby Fish, and Kyle O'Reilly. They've made individual debuts, now they debut as a tag team. Now aligning with a man we've been wanting to be on NXT, and he finally debuted on NXT TakeOver, and his name is Adam Cole, baby! So after an amazing TakeOver, SummerSlam at the top. Once again, with NXT setting the ball high for a Big Four pay-per-view. Especially now that there's a TakeOver every Big Four. Well, the tale of SummerSlam is the tale of two halves. The pre-show was decent. The last match of the pre-show proved it should have been on the main show. The first half, let's say the first 4 or 5 matches, were like, included some burials. Big time burials. Wow, SmackDown's going to run out of heels now. With credibility. Because of these moves they made tonight. I wonder who these guys who got buried tonight pissed off backstage. I've been watching the shows lately. But I haven't been doing reviews. Especially for Wall. But I've been catching up on stuff. Man. I don't know who some guys pissed off. So that first half, like, there was 2 women's matches in that first half, which were the only redeeming factors of that first half. The remaining 5 matches, well, let's say remaining 4 out of 5 were really good. They saved the pay-per-view. So, with that and a good pre-show, 6.5 for this one. And I'll say this. This is one of the better SummerSlams. You know, just from that second half alone, was like the redeeming factor of the show. Better than Battleground. NXT was still kind of better. But at least SummerSlam's second half was better. And I will say also, best SummerSlam main event in a while. At least we had a SummerSlam finish that was clean. Yay! And once again, it involved Brock Lesnar. Now, if you saw my review last year, I said that Lesnar should never main event a pay-per-view again. Well, he did, but at least he was in a fatal 4-way, which was probably one of the best matches of the night. Brooklyn crowd was dead for the first half, but hey, it wasn't their fault the matches sucked the first half. 4 hours, it went over like 5 minutes, but the pacing was a little better than the last couple of years at being the 4 hours. There was no stupid shit, like no performances or no stupid skits. They saved that for the pre-show. And the main event will get people talking for the right and wrong reasons, with one dominant MVP. And the winner. Some people will like who won. Some people may not like who won. At least it was a woman. So, let's get going with the pre-show. The stars of the pre-show were rematches from Raw and 50-50 booking. The first of the Raw rematches was the Miztourage taking on Jason Jordan and the Hardys. Basically, like I said, from last Monday. Now, as many people know from Dirt Sheets, Hardy's was scheduled to face up against Revival. But thanks to Revival's continuous bad luck in the main roster, with Dawson getting hurt after Wilder returned from injury, causing the match to get called off. There was also reported Jason Jordan IC title match with Miz. That never happened. I think after the night, the push for Jason Jordan, along with a couple other pushes, may be buried. The reaction for Jordan was like, bad. Well, it was all burned because half the arena wasn't in yet for the Miz. There was a funny moment during the match. Miz went to the crowd, the front wall. There's like only one guy in the front wall because none of the people were there yet. So I kind of feel bad for them. Not having a packed house yet, people still getting in. It was like, why back in Kalisto for WrestleMania 32 or 31 when half the crowd was still getting in for their match because of getting in. But for what it was for being a Wwe match, it was an okay one. Because Hardy's did their own little thing, with the lead. They, of course, got a hold of Jordan, they being Miz and Bo and Axel, double teaming on Jordan. Then, of course, Jeff and Matt tried to make the save with the Swanton Bomb attempts and the Fates. But then Jordan got back in, feeling alive, despite crowd still not buying into his gimmick of being Angle's son. I think that's dead. As he was taking care of Bo Dallas, Miz blind tagged himself in. As Jordan was going for his finish, Miz got in with a skull crushing finale and pins Jason Jordan 1-2-3. Getting the victory for the Miztourage. 50-50 booking. Because Jordan and the Hardys won last week. And then this week on SummerSlam, the bad guys win. 2.5 for this one because of the 50-50 booking. And they didn't have a lot of heat because of the rematch being so quick. And the crowd wasn't in yet. So, and like I said, I think Jordan's not getting over well. You know, the Angle child thing. I've been saying that last couple of weeks about it when I've been making reviews. I've been keeping tabs on the show, but man, especially when he was in Toronto, they were booing Jordan and cheering a Toronto jobber. You know that's bad. Now on to our next matchup. Continuing the Wwe matches. The Cruiserweight title match. With a much different scenario. With Tozawa now being the champion. Winning it on Raw in a fun match. Taking on the now challenger, Neville. Now, I'll try my best to review this best I can because I was watching via Chromecast. But Chromecast was kind of laggy throughout the evening. It especially lagged up during this match. It was kind of jumpy and stuff. It was better throughout the night, but this match it really messed up on. Plus, I missed like the first few minutes of it. But from what I saw, it was as good, not as good as the Wall match. But it was still a decent one. But man, how many times has the Cruiserweight title match has been on the pre-show this year? 3 times it's been. It was a Mania pre-show. It was just a pre-show match for Great Balls of Fire. And now it's a pre-show match for SummerSlam. What's next? It's going to be the pre-show for Survivor Series 2. Complete the trifecta, kind of. At least the Cruiserweight wasn't the pre-show, the Rumble. Thank goodness. Anywho, Tozawa came in with his big moves, of course, the hot and Titus by his side. But Neville was taking advantage of Tozawa's back and his so-called shoulder injury, which he magically healed. But a bunch of great action from these guys. Of course, Tozawa going for the flying headbutt off the metal rope. And of course, attempting the backward senton a couple times. The third attempt, near towards the end of the match, he got it, but Neville put the knees up. And Neville got back up after the block, with the back of Tozawa being damaged enough throughout the match, and damaged even more with that block from Neville. Neville went up for the red hell. He didn't do the Rings of Saturn. In the 1, 2, wow. Tozawa actually had a title for a week. What was the purpose of that title change then? If they're going to just have Neville regain it on Sunday. Kind of like weird 50-50 booking there. You know what I mean? I don't know why they had a title change to begin with. It's kind of like what they do with Sasha sometimes. You know? Have her win 1 week, and then, like, the next week, it's like, she loses. What happens with Tozawa? But it's going to set up a rubber match, probably, between these two eventually. You know, they both have a win over each other within a week. So I expect a rematch to be on more night! Oh, the next World pay-per-view. No Mercy. Weird yet creepy commercial with it tonight, airing with Alexa Bliss. So, there you go. It's kind of interesting also that Raw gets No Mercy. They're switching. Like, SmackDown got No Mercy last year, and Raw's getting it this year. Raw had Hell in a Cell. SmackDown this year is getting Hell in a Cell in Detroit at Little Caesars Arena in October. So, 3.0, from what I saw, it was still a decent match. You know, still great action. These two put on good matches. But kind of like weird that I thought Tozawa was going to retain because they're not going to put the title on Tozawa just to let him drop it in a week. Well, they did. They did let Tozawa only have the title for a week and let him drop it with Neville in the pre-show. So before our next matchup, we have Elias. Dropped his last name, just Elias. He's no longer Elias Sampson. Although it's kind of funny, Michael Cole kept calling him Elias Sampson last week. You know, forgetting that he dropped his last name. So he came out and did not one but two songs. God, they were booing the hell out of Elias. Got a lot of heat for this. He had some fun little songs, and that was it. Now, the best match of the pre-show, that should have been the main show, was the Usos against the New Day. New Day for the WWE SmackDown. Oh, should I say SmackDown WWE WWEUL Tag Team Championship of the world. Now, when this was announced for pre-show last week, I was like, really? The best match and the only best thing to come out of Battleground is the pre-show? Yet, Big Cass and Big Show, probably one of the worst matches on the show, was not on the pre-show. It was on the main show. You know what happens when you don't put the New Day and Usos in the main show, but keep Big Show and Cass on the main show that should have been on the pre-show? You know what happens when we make that kind of dumb move? WWE! You just made the last! Really? This match was the best match of the first half. And it kind of like underwhelmed it kind of did a bad thing for the first half. Some would say it's better or maybe not as good as their match at Battleground. It had a slower start, I'll say that much. Like the first 10 minutes, I was like, maybe this won't be as good as the first match. But then it picked up. There were so many close calls, so many great spots. God, all four guys were taking some big bumps. Kofi was, of course, on the outside. He had somewhat knee injury on SmackDown because they had his match on SmackDown with Kofi and Xavier. They had Xavier and Big E for the team representing New Day in the red lantern-inspired gear. Hey, they're geeks, especially Xavier. You watch Up, Up, Down, Down, you know. You know, it was just a great tag match. Spot on. Great spots. Xavier looked good. Big E did some nasty moves, like some big spears. God, there was like some nasty spears that he did. And there was one spot, I think there was like a Uso Woo or something. When Xavier, God, he took a nasty landing on that. Nasty landing. And it was just a fast-paced match. And the crowd was into it. And I was like, why was this on the pre-show, not the main show? Like I said, Big Show and Big Cass should have been. That was almost as dumb as having them main event over a triple threat with Roman, Strowman, and Joe. But another dumb decision that puts them on the list as well. Anyway, we saw there's a cool little double team that Big E and Xavier did. It was also another great spot. Xavier actually lifted Biggie on his shoulders and dropped him. And they sold it later. But despite the New Day's best efforts, the Usos came back alive, some nasty moves, delivering a big kick onto Biggie, knocking Xavier out as well, and delivering a big double splashes onto Biggie. And 1, 2, 3, the Usos regain, should I say, SmackDown Tag Team titles, with New Day only having it for a month. Well, it means a lot of things. We're not going to get a never-ending New Day title reign, because it was fun for a while when they were the longest-reigning tag team champions. Well, Asuka's now the longest-reigning women's champion in recent memory. So, but like the Neville Tozawa situation, this was just an excuse for 50-50 booking, and more better, both teams have a win against each other for a title in a Premier Rubber match on SmackDown or at Hell in a Cell. Wouldn't it be great to have a tag team Hell in a Cell? Hey, they had a women's Hell in a Cell last year. Have a tag team one, especially in Detroit. 4.2 for this one. Probably one of the better matches of the night. But after that, the main show started. And it didn't start out good. You know it's a weird SummerSlam when John Cena's the opener. Yeah, John Cena jerked the curtain tonight as he took on Baron Corbin, the MITV suitcaseless Baron. Of course, Brooklyn was very sending Cena, probably aiming their frustrations at the burial of Baron on Tuesday. Caused a lot of discussion over his failed cash-in on Tuesday and why it happened. And, you know, and it really recovered. Because the last guy that wasn't Cena that failed to cash in was Damien Sandow. His career was never the same. Well, the same trajectory may be in Baron's future. Because this match did him no favors. Apparently the reason why he failed to cash in is because he pisses some people off in the back with his Twitter comments. Well, his attitude cost him yet again in this match. Despite Corbin's best efforts to beat up Cena a little bit, even angrily taking his shirt off at one point and telling the fans a little bit, Cena came back alive. Took in numerous attempts, found Knuckle Shuffle, he finally did it. The match itself was okay, they had a contrast of styles, but there was like no heat to it at all. You know, it was kind of a washed together thing. And the only heat they can get for this match is to have Cena cost Corbin the money to make cash in. They were so desperate that the basically throw away the money to make briefcase and throw away the subplot for the WWE title match. And ruin the possibility of a cash in tonight for that. Speaking of cash in, so I'm like the other MITB about whether that one was cashed in or not in a little bit. Because that was our second match. So despite Corbin's efforts, Cena came alive, finally did a final Knuckle Shuffle. But Corbin got a big move, big chokes at one point, but then Cena came back alive, like I said, with a big lariat, then the FU, only one FU. And 1, 2, 3. The man who's faster than Rey Mysterio. Let me start over. The man who's faster than a Rey Mysterio, more powerful than a Big Show, able to big careers in a single bound. Super Cena wins again, LOL. But, as much as I made fun of John Cena for his supersized ego and not getting other people over, he has gotten people over. It's kind of interesting. It was his first SummerSlam win in 7 years. First win since 2010. Because he lost to CM Punk, Did you buy it in, of course, last year to AJ Styles? But when it comes to this so-called burial of Baron Corbin, I don't think it was Cena's undoing. I don't think Cena was the one that buried Baron. Cena did the job for WWE Creative. They were the one that buried Corbin tonight. They just had Cena take the brunt of it. It basically did the job by burying Corbin for them. That's what happened tonight. Cena was basically forced into burying Corbin. Because I don't think Cena asked to win. Probably was forced into it. Hell, he got Nakamura over. Because we all thought it was going to be Cena and Jinder tonight. And not Nakamura and Jinder. So, that was great. But, like I said, I always make fun of Cena. And a lot of us, Ava Inger, at John Cena, Super Cena, when one of our favorites gets so-called buried by him. Like, look at Rusev. He hasn't recovered. We'll get to him in a minute. Speaking of burials. But this one is solely in the hands of WWE Creative. They wouldn't Cena to win to bury Corbin. His push is over. Now, Corbin may not be ready for the main event yet. He's still got a long way to go, but any chances of him getting over now have died tonight. He lost Money in the Bank, and he lost to John Cena. The ultimate burial. And I've seen a lot of guys, I've said it before about people getting buried by Cena. Intentional or not. They've never recovered. And like the last guy who didn't cash in, we'll see if Baron Corbin's trajectory is unlike Sandows. 2.5. You know, okay little opener. But, yeah, like I said, Cena winning was the wrong decision. I think a lot of people, including myself, thought Baron should have won. But, like I said, I think Corbin still pissed off some people in the back and got buried tonight. So, there you go. In our second match of the main card, continuing the SmackDown matches. The SmackDown Women's title was on the line. For the second straight year, the Women's title match, is the second match of the SummerSlam card. At least the Raw Women's title got a higher up on the card this year. Because it was the second match last year. SmackDown didn't have a Women's title yet. They didn't have a Women's title until September. Until Backlash. But now, SmackDown have a Women's title. In this year's SummerSlam, it was Natalya challenging Naomi. And this match was pretty good. Out of the two women's matches, some would say this was the better of the two women's title matches this evening. So, great effort from both women. I think a lot of people are nervous about these two and their contrast of styles. Some people said it should have been Charlotte against Naomi, but after what's happened with her dad, it was probably the right move. Because Charlotte probably would have pulled out. We already have one replacement in a women's title match on SummerSlam because of injury. But if Charlotte was originally booked, it's good she wasn't because of her dad. Prayers to you, Ric Flair. All the best, man. Get well soon. So, Natalya looked great in this match with great moves here. Great strategic wrestling. Like, we didn't think the styles were going to clash, a mesh, but it was a good mesh. You know, great pacing. Naomi looked pretty good. Some big flying moves, some big kicks as well. But despite Naomi's best efforts, she got some big clothesline for Natalya. But there's an exchange of submissions that set the score. Naomi went for a submission at one point on Natalya and almost had her. But Natalya came back, focusing on a lot of body parts, knocking off Naomi, setting up eventually for the sharpshooter after blocking a moonsault from Naomi. And shockingly, Naomi tapped out of the sharpshooter. And Natalya became the new women's champion. Great accomplishment for Natalya. Being underused for the last couple of years, probably one of the best women on the roster, not being used a lot. To see her win a championship again for the first time in 6 or 7 years. Great for her. What was more shocking than seeing Natalya win it all was seeing no cash-in from Carmella. despite the numerous weeks of teasing and taunting and being a luminous shadow, saying that she was going to cash in tonight. Hell, we even saw her backstage. We didn't see a cash in. But it was just so because Natalya didn't get ambushed. Because that's usually when the cash-in's made when a champion's vulnerable. I think some people say it is the right move to have Natalya not cash in. Carmella not cash in. I will say this. If the women's title match from SmackDown switched spots with Raw and was higher up on the card, there might have been a higher chance of a Carmella cash-in. But I think because it was the second match, that's why we didn't see a cash-in. 3.3 for this one. I'll just give it 3.5. No, I'll give it 3.3. So, good women's match. The styles matched more than we thought. So, there you go. And another hot victory at a SummerSlam. With the sharpshooter, nonetheless. Now, the worst match of SummerSlam. Bar none. Match that belonged in the pre-show. And not New Day and Usos. Big Show against Big Cass. With the gimmick Shark Cage returning for the second time this year on the main roster pay-per-view. Third time overall on a pay-per-view altogether because we had the Shark Cage brought to an NXT takeover with Paul Ellering in there during an AOP title match. The crowd chants said it all. Boring. God. Like the first half, the crowd was dead for the first half. It was like last year because after Cena and AJ, the crowd was dead for the rest of the night. But the crowd was dead until the sixth match for the most part. Even Enzo couldn't get over. Enzo got the mildest reaction I've ever heard him get. At least he didn't get booed like Bayley when she appeared on screen before Sasha's match against Alexa Bliss. Man, the damage being done by WWE Creative on Bayley. It's really shown. She got booed in Toronto, and see her booed here, especially in a place she won an NXT title 2 years ago. Man, how the mighty have fallen. How the fortunes have turned. Whatever analogy you want to use. But this match just sucked. It was boring, unexciting, and we all knew Enzo was going to get out of Shark Cage eventually, and the Shark Cage wasn't raised high enough. Hey, the last time they did a Shark Cage match, it was at the Red Iron Alamo Dome in Houston, Texas, in San Antonio, Texas. So the cage was higher. This one wasn't. And Enzo stripped down. We didn't want to see that. And he baby oiled himself to slick out. He still got his ass kicked by Big Cass. And after that came the ending. A big boo from Big Cass on the Big Show. Big Show selling the hand injury that he suffered from Big Cass and the club, which we did not see tonight. They didn't follow up on the club's involvement from Raw last week, so that was weird. But it was a clean finish. That's the only good thing. So after the big kick, we saw the Empire Elbow, and mercifully, Big Show lost to Big Cass. Let this feud be over. Please, let this be the fucking end. And if Big Cass, keep calm and move along. Instead of move on, move along. So man's up. Speck him away once and for all. This is the feud that never ends. 1.5. Horrible. Now, continuing the Raw matches now, because we had a couple of SmackDowns. Now we have, actually, before we got to another Raw, we got another SmackDown. Randy Orton against Rusev. God, Rusev and SummerSlam. SummerSlam, it's not been good to Rusev the last couple of years. 2015. He was in that stupid storyline with Summer Rae and Lana and Dolph Ziggler. Last year's match against Roman Reigns never really started. They had a brawl and went to a no contest. it almost went that way again. As Rusev beat up on Orton before the bell. Wanted to catch revenge for that RKO on SmackDown. That was a good RKO though. Anywho, despite Rusev's best efforts to beat up Wendy, I think the match should have ended, though. Because what happened when the bell rang after the pre-match beatdown from Rusev made Rusev risk the match with or no contest. Would have saved him some dignity. Because bell rang, RKO, boom, 6 seconds. Rusev's buried. Wow. SmackDown needs some more heels. And your two best choices for credible heels on SmackDown got buried tonight. On screen, by both John Cena and Randy Orton, felt like we went through a time warp and we're back in 2007 again, for some reason. But off screen, the burial was done by Creative, who apparently got pissed off by both Rusev or Baron. I wonder what brought him into the doghouse. And where would they get out? Because they've both been damaged goods. Rusev's been more damaged goods. So, there you go with that. 1.0. Stupid. Three of those shitty matches, a shitty match and a shitty finish to a match. The bridge between the shitty first half and the second half was Alexa Bliss against Sasha Banks for the Raw Women's title. Even though this was not as good as the SmackDown Women's title match, still a good match. Anyway, not as good as Great Balls of Fire, though. Great Balls of Fire was way better. This did have a cleaner finish than Great Balls of Fire. And this match should have been from the get-go Sasha against Bliss. We wanted Sasha to get the match on her own merit. Not get the title match because Bayley got hurt. And we did see Bayley, like I said, on screen and got booed. So the match was still great. Bliss looking hot with a ponytail. And Sasha wearing a little peacock little headdress thing. That was kind of cute though, too. But not these as much. It was a slow burn match between these two. You know, these two should have better matches. And this, like I said, this wasn't one of the best. Still decent nonetheless. Bliss looked good early. There is some slow moves and targeting on Sasha's shoulder. I think Sasha got legit injured. There might be some debate on that. Because she took a big tumble later in the match. Like she got pushed off the middle rope and she fell hard on her shoulder. And it looked legit. It might be, especially the way that Alexa was really targeting it throughout the later half of the match. Real or not, it was a target. So as I said, we saw numerous attempts at the Banks in from Banks, and even Banks kicking out and blocking the Twisted Bliss. But it was another great spot when Banks was going for the double knees from the apron, but Bliss tripped her up. I think that's when she landed on her shoulder. But after that, they go up back in the ring. And more attempts at the Banks statement from Banks, but despite the best efforts from Bliss trying to counter it, Banks still had it locked in. Now, Bliss was kind of close to the ropes at this point in this attempt at the Banks statement. Despite being close to the ropes, Ref didn't say anything and kept out from Bliss. Yep, Sasha Banks is once again Raw Women's Champion. 4-time Raw Women's Champion. Now, what would have happened if Bayley was supposed to be in this match? Was Bayley supposed to win? Time, you may never know. But here's a message to WWE Creative. I kind of talk about like Tozawa losing in a week. Speaking of people that lose a lot, like they win a title and lose it quickly. This is basically a message from us to you, WWE Creative. Please don't let Sasha drop the title in less than a month. We've seen too much of that. Sasha wins! Next month, loses! We don't want another Sasha Charlotte hot potato game like last fall. So please have Sasha win a fucking pay-per-view title match. Please, at No Mercy. Don't let her drop the title again in a month. 3.2 for this one. Not as good as the Great Balls of Fire, but still a decent one nonetheless. Now, the match that kind of really woke the crowd up was, speaking of Wwe matches, we had Bray Wyatt against Finn Balor. But not just any Finn Balor. The kind of Balor we were hoping for in this feud. The Demon King. Of course, they had to give away the match for free to set up this Demon Balor appearance. They should have just had the blood segment and no match at all this past Monday. But we got the Demon back for the first time in a year. Since SummerSlam last year when he got hurt. And he's been really booked since coming back. Hey, he beat up Jinder Mahal and got concussed by Jinder Mahal. And then he became champion. Anyway, this match, probably better than the World match. The crowd was woken up, especially after the last couple matches. Let's get the crowd going again. They were really cheering on Balor. It was a very aggressive match, kind of like a beatdown match, especially when Bray Wyatt got involved early after beating up on Balor on the outside. I did like Balor's entrance, playing up on the whole with our hands thing. So then, after the Wyatt beatdown for a while, Balor came back with some big moves. Braun on the outside, including a sling blade at one point. He was trying to set up for the coup de grace. But then, Bray rolled out of it and saw it coming. Bray did attempt the Sister Abby a couple times, but then Balor would counter a couple times. One of my favorite spots in the match was when Balor was down for a bit and Bray did the spider walk. And then Balor got right back up in Bray's face when he turned back around, right side up. Fucking priceless. And then bang. The big dropkick again. Before that, the sling blade. And then, for a second or third time, was the charm for a coup de grace. As Brian Zane would say, 1, 2, 3 victory for Finn Balor. 50-50 booking. I think a lot of people saw it that way after Balor lost on Monday. We see a women match as well for this feud. 3.0 for this one. Decent little match, especially after the last couple. But this was the match that got the crowd going again. And the next two would be really good and starting to save the pay-per-view. The Raw Tag Team title match was next as the semi-reunited Shield 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose challenging Cesaro and Sheamus. Did you notice that Sheamus and Cesaro were the only champions to come out first tonight? Every other champion came out second, as customary. But Cesaro and Sheamus came out first. I did not see the Tozawa and Neville entrances, so I'm guessing Tozawa was second. If Tozawa was first, I didn't see it, I apologize. If I got that wrong. If there was 2 champions to come out first tonight. And this was a really good tag team match. The build for the reunion of Rollins and Ambrose has been perfectly done. The pacing was done well. And they really did well in the double teaming, first things first. Early going. But Matt got a little slow long. And that brought out an object I hate seeing in wrestling shows. Speaking of burials, tonight we saw the burial of Baron Corbin's push, Rusev's push, and I hope to God that after what we saw tonight, we saw the burial of the beach balls. Thank you, Cesaro, you Swiss Superman bastard, you, for what you did in this match. So through the match, a little slow long, like I said. There was a beach ball brought up from the crowd. You know, beach ball's been an annoyance, especially during like rowdy international crowds. So I love this. Cesaro sees the ball, climbs into the crowd, It literally whips it up and tears it up. Heel move or wheel move. Thank you. And fuck on up, even up in the beach balls. Hope this stops it once and for all. Especially the cruiserweight matches. Anyway, after that funny spot, he actually just picked up right away. There were some close calls, even a little homage to the Shield by, at one point, signaling a double powerbomb from both Rollins and Ambrose. But they never got to do it. You know, they teased it, but they never fully did it. That would have been awesome to see it executed. And Rollins and Ambrose were this being the first real match as a team. You know, they had a little woman match against the Miztourage. But they looked pretty good in this match. You know, it was a fun match, especially later in the half. You know, crowd was into it. In this match, they kind of really woke the crowd up. If Balor and Wyatt kind of started waking the crowd up, this is the one that really got them going in. So they bang, fast-paced action, leading up to a big kick onto Sheamus by Rollins and doing this rarely seen clothesline knee thing, leading to the Dirty Deeds and the 1-2-3 victory. Yes, new Raw Tag Team Champions. The 5th title change of the evening. I mean, you know, we had 2 in the pre-show, 3 in the main show. But then, the title changes may come to an end here. Starting with our next matchup, probably one of the best singles matches of the night. AJ Styles against Kevin Owens for the United States Championship with Shane McMahon as your referee. Now, even with the Shane shenanigans, I'll say this. Way, and I do mean way better than the Battleground match. More exciting, more faster pace, and a better ending. This is a fun match. They never had a bad match besides Battleground. These two have instant chemistry. Both guys were just beating the crap out of each other. But as many expected, Shane would become a big factor into the ending of the match. Both guys at one point nailed moves that Shane got in the brunt of. I think AJ's going for a big move, and Owens basically tossed him in the way, getting nailed. There was another point he was trying to slingshot. Oh, he was getting slingshotted by Owens, but Shane got in the way. So there was like very Shane interactions. But Shane's shenanigans and his interactions didn't really ruin the match that much. I know some people may disagree and do say Shane's involvement was unnecessary. Should let these two fight, because these two are great wrestlers. But Shane didn't really take away from it. So, AJ calf crusher at one point, locked into Owens. Owens would come out of it. Both would do the big moves, and both would kick out of it. Styles would do a Styles crusher at one point, didn't get enough of it, so Owens kicked out. And Owens did do the Papa Powerbomb. Now, here's that. He did the Papa Powerbomb. And Shane did count the 3. Owens thought he won the US title. But it was a false finish. AJ's foot was on the wall. Shane didn't see it, even though he counted 3. And Owens got pissed. He started having a shoving match. I was like, AJ's going to capitalize, is he? He almost did. Rolling up Owens only for a count of 2. And I do mean only for a count of 2. So then after some more Shane festivities, AJ did another emphatic Styles Clash in the victory, retaining the United States Championship. In a fun matchup, 4.5 for this one. Actually, I'll give it 4.4. Give it 4.4. You know, great match. Like I said, some people may disagree with the Shane involvement. But in my mind, Shane's involvement was not that much. You know, it didn't have an impact, but We all knew he was going to get involved in the ending. That's what all special guest referees mostly do, is they affect the finish. And this was no exception. So, there you go. Now, ending our SmackDown portion of the card, we have the SmackDown main event. For the WWE Championship, we have Shinsuke Nakamura challenging the modern-day Maharaja, Jinder Mahal. As I mentioned earlier, a lot of people, including myself, thought we'd be seeing John Cena tying Ric Flair or breaking his record by beating Jinder tonight. But it ended up being the right move because it probably would not be a great move to have Cena beat Ric Flair's record when Ric Flair is in the hospital. Or convalescing at home in this case. This match had no heat, no build at all. It's just, hey, Jinder and Nakamura are fighting. Yay. Crowd was definitely on Nakamura's side, booing Jinder to hell. And the match was okay. Jinder's matches are not best, because Jinder's a stiff worker. And he works a different style that doesn't mesh with a lot of people. No exception for Jinder's opponent tonight. Just Shinsuke Nakamura. Despite Nakamura's best efforts to do the big kicks and taunting, he did his best to carry Jinder. But we knew one or two things was going to happen. But both did happen. We were going to see the involvement of the Singh brothers. That happened right before Nakamura was going to go for the Bombay. But another thing happened that we thought was going to happen. Our favorite thing about any Jinder Mahal match, when his opponent beats the fuck out of the Singh brothers. Now they're probably like, yay, no more Orton! But damn it, Nakamura! They got killed. They got destroyed by Nakamura, but Nakamura, after taking them out, basically walked into the Colossus and Jinder retained. 2.2. It was okay. I think it was a double-edged sword. Jinder needs more credibility, and Nakamura doesn't need a title right away. Nakamura can still be over without a title. So he'll probably get it, but not too soon. If they had him win the title so quickly, it would diminish Jinder and make him look like he's pushed too soon and maybe have the fans turn. Now on to the main event. Yes, it involved Brock Lesnar. But it was the best Lesnar match. Not just that, best Lesnar main event in SummerSlam. As of course, the Fatal 4-Way for the Universal Championship with Brock Lesnar defending against Braun Strowman, Roman Reigns, and Samoa Joe. I just gotta say 3 quick words. Braun fucking Strowman. He was the MVP of this match, especially the first 15 minutes or so. Strowman looked like a motherfucking beast tonight. The Most Among Men just destroyed everybody. Especially Brock. When they finally faced off, it was the brawl we were all hoping for. It was a brawl the entire match. But Strowman in those first early minutes, oh my god. He did another chair spot, throwing a chair at both Roman and Joe. But the talking points was how he literally beat the hell out of Lesnar. Lesnar was the punching bag for the early part of the matchup, especially Strowman. Not one, but 2 running power slams on 2 tables to Brock Lesnar. Even the third was pushed onto Lesnar. It was like a holy shit moment. You know, Strowman just looked like a freaking beast. It was the most crazy he's ever looked in a match. It ever looked good. Like, Strowman was the MVP, but Joe had some great moments too. Joe had a great moment with Roman. And it was like a very chaotic start. You know, it was just brawling, leading up to Lesnar being carried out and being out of the match for a little bit. Kind of like what happened in a triple threat back in 2015 in the Rumble, when he was taken out for a little bit by Rollins, letting him and Cena battle it out before Lesnar came back. So we had a little slowdown period Woman got his ass booed once again. Chewed out again out of Brooklyn. He enjoyed some exchanges and Strowman. It was a great physical match. We knew this Fatal 4 was going to be an epic match. And it was. No idea by Waller's main event was better than yours. Damn right. It was better than yours. I can teach you. But you have to just was. Main event was better than yours. Damn right. Was better than yours. Damn right. Was better than yours. Fire. Well, dog. Yes. Stop burying. Stop burying Rusev unless they get their acts together. Anyway. So, after a few moments without Lesnar, they come back. And if I'm not mistaken, Lesnar did not a lot of suplexes. About 6 or 7. Low count. Typical Lesnar is higher than that. But he was, like I said, the punching bag. Especially by Strowman. So he came back. It was awesome to see Lesnar suplex Strowman. He did attempt. He even did try an F5. But then Strowman coming for a big power slam. And it's sad that Roman did more spears than Lesnar did suplexes. There was a lot of spears and some men punches tonight by Roman. Like, you make fun of Roman all you want, but he did look kind of good too. Make Roman look strong. There was rumors about Taker. Thank God those rumors were not true. Taker needs to stay retired. So, Joe got back in. Try to go Akira clutch on Roman. Then Strowman got in again. You know, everybody was out, leaving Joe and Lesnar. Joe had a Akira clutch yet again on Lesnar. Lesnar turned into an F5. Waves to pick up the pin. Big punches. Waves was going for the spear. Then Lesnar got in. F5's Roman. 1, 2. Wow. Who saw this coming? Lesnar retaining. Nobody thought Lesnar was going to retain. It's the last thing anyone expected. Now, some people will like Lesnar winning. He's not going to leave the company, as Heyman said he would do if he left. But I think Barkley could have spoiled it, because Barkley said Lesnar was going to appear on Raw. Maybe due to his farewell address. You never knew. But some people may not like Lesnar being a champion, because we don't need a part-time champion. They should have pulled the trigger on either Roman's enemy Strowman or Joe tonight, instead of having Lesnar retain. So some people might be disappointed by Lesnar winning. But I will say this. At least the ending of the match was clean. And Roman lost! Roman took the pin! I make fun of Roman as much as I make fun of Cena for burying people, calling Reigns Super Reigns. But he took the pin tonight. Which could lead to him pinning Lesnar at Mania. Which hopefully it won't happen. Because that's a Women Mania main event for Mania 34. So, they go 4.5. Craziest match of the night was this one. So many great spots in action. And the unlikely winner, the man that no one thought had a chance in hell. Especially the rumors of him leaving. Lesnar. Where do we go from here? Will Lesnar fight at No Mercy? Or will he save it for either Survivor Series or the Rumble? We'll see Lesnar's future. Probably more on Raw. That is it for my Raw SummerSlam review. But as thank you so much for watching. With that in mind, you've all been attacked by the review from Zach. This is a long one. Thanks for hanging on with me to this long. If you fast forward to the end, well, thanks for at least watching anyway. See you on later. You've been attacked by the review from Zach. See you next time.